Rooted in the Zionist movement and the Arab nationalism movement of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a major facet of the wider struggle in the region. Following the creation of the State of Israel in 1948, the fighting intensified. Numerous significant battles and conflicts have occurred since then. The following significant anniversaries are listed. 1. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War. This conflict broke out right after Israel declared its independence in 1948. It featured an alliance of Arab neighbors against Israel, comprising Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. 2. Six-Day War, 1967. Israel fought Egypt, Jordan, and Syria in June 1967. During this battle, Israel took control of the Golan Heights, the West Bank, including East Jerusalem, and the Sinai Peninsula. 3. Yom Kippur War, 1973. During the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur in October 1973, a coalition of Arab governments unexpectedly attacked Israel. Syria and Egypt were the principal parties to this dispute. 4. Lebanon Wars. Israel fought in several battles and wars in Lebanon, most notably the Lebanon War of 1982 and the wars that followed it with the militant Lebanese group Hezbollah. It is crucial to remember that there have been many more occurrences, clashes, and violent moments during the Israeli war. These are but a few examples. There are still recurring conflicts and violent outbursts, and the situation is complicated and unresolved. Known variously as the Ukraine War or the War in Donbass, the conflict in Ukraine started in 2014. Political upheaval and a number of incidents, like as Russia's annexation of Crimea and the Ukrainian Revolution of 2014, led to the outbreak of this conflict. Ukraine's capital city of Kyiv saw protests against the administration of then-President Viktor Yanukovych in February 2014. The demonstrations, dubbed the Euromaidan movement, demanded democratic reforms and greater connections to the strong in the eastern districts of Donetsk and Luhansk, where resistance to this political shift was encountered. Armed separatist organizations with Russian backing took control of the Donetsk and Luhansk regions' government buildings in April 2014 and proclaimed themselves autonomous people's republics. In response, the Ukrainian government went on the offensive to retake these areas militarily. Hello and welcome. Kindly like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and why not leave a comment to contribute to better analysis moving forward. Since then, there has been continuous fighting between separatist factions in Donetsk and Luhansk and the Ukrainian armed forces. Although Russia has been charged with giving the separatists military support, it refers to the conflict as a civil war and denies any direct involvement. These three entities have a variety of relationships, many of which are intricate. In the past, the term West has been used to describe nations in Europe and North America that have comparable political, economic, and cultural values, many of which are democratic. Russia has a complex relationship with the West, since it is a country that is part of both Europe and Asia. There have been times of teamwork and camaraderie, as well as times of stress and strife, like the Cold War era. Disagreements on a range of topics, including as territorial disputes, geopolitical influence, and human rights, define Russia's relationship with the West today. China, on the other hand, is a significant player in the world economy and has a distinct political structure. Over time, its relationship with the West has changed. China's economy has grown significantly, and the country is now more assertive internationally. Competition and economic collaboration with Western nations have resulted from this. Disagreements also exist in a number of other areas, such as geopolitical influence, human rights issues, and trade practices. It's critical to remember that these entities' interactions are dynamic and subject to a variety of influences. Disagreements between the West, Russia, and China on a range of topics may spark hostilities or tensions. Among the frequent points of disagreement are 1. Geopolitical influence. China, Russia, and the West frequently vie for power and influence over certain nations or regions. This could entail joint ventures in the political or military spheres. 2. Territorial conflicts. Tensions between these entities might occasionally result from territorial conflicts. For instance, China's territorial claims in the South China Sea have strained relations with neighboring nations and the United States, while Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 sparked a conflict with Western nations. 3. Ideological differences. Russia and China, with their distinct political systems and governing ideologies, may disagree with the West, which is known for its democratic norms. Disparities in the rule of law, freedom of speech, and human rights frequently become flashpoints. 4. Economic rivalry. Tensions may also arise from these institutions' economic competition with one another. Conflicts can occur in the following areas: trade disputes, intellectual property rights, market access, and technical dominance. 5. Regional conflicts. In certain regional conflicts, like those in the Middle East or Africa, the West, Russia, and China may have conflicting interests. Their support or involvement with other parties may make their differences worse. Tensions or disputes involving the West, Russia, and China result from disputes between these parties. This may have an impact on not just the parties directly involved, but also other nations that share economic connections with them. Trade disparities, limitations, or punitive actions may have a cascading impact on international commerce and financial stability. 2. Political alignment. Nations are frequently under pressure to support or align their policies with one of these powerful nations. This may result in alliance realignments and geopolitical developments, dividing or straining relations between countries. 3. Regional instability. Tensions or conflicts between China, Russia, and the West can spread to nearby areas, escalating already existing problems or igniting new ones. This may have an effect on the socioeconomic development, humanitarian conditions, and stability of such places. 4. Technical competition. These entities' rivalry for technical supremacy may have an effect on other nations as well. It has the potential to split up international technological standards, have an impact on technology adoption. It is difficult and very speculative to forecast the future course of tensions or conflicts between the West, Russia, and China because so many variables will play a role. I can offer some broad guidelines though. 1. Geopolitical balance. The global geopolitical environment may continue to be shaped by the continuous struggle for influence between the West, Russia, and China. The conclusion might lead to a reorganization of international alliances and power relations. 2. Economic shifts. There may be winners and losers in the economic changes brought about by these businesses' competition. It might change how investments, trade, and technology are developed worldwide. The result may have an effect on regional and international economic cooperation and alliances. 3. Technology dominance. The West, Russia, and China are engaged in a technology arms race, with a focus on areas like telecommunications, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence. 4. Regional influence. Conflicts and regional dynamics may be impacted by the battle for influence, which might result in heightened hostilities or collaboration between